From Lalate headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons Lalate.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons Lalate with your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. As Congress releases the first 634 pages of their reconciliation budget bill, and there's lots of checks in there. 634 pages of checks. We'll be going over those checks, which include $4,000 to care for the seniors, money to buy a car, money to buy a bike, money to buy other vehicles, money additionally for seniors, money for workers, hazard pay back on, baby, in a big time, a lifetime, upwards of $51,000 of MSC monthly checks paid to you over nearly 18 years. Checks of all different magnitudes, including even house repairs. Some things we never even heard that would even be in there. It's all deliciousness. Meantime, the world exclusive delivered on this channel late last night as another viewer reaches out to Bernie Sanders' office and is told, yes, he is giving you a fourth stimulus IRS check in there as well. Then the breaking news this afternoon, which is just incredible, and his additional $13 billion has been allocated by Treasury effective today for your rent assistance. Wow, this is incredible, great news. I have all this and more, including the details about what's being still paid out in third stimulus. And the big success stories that viewers continue to get. It's a big afternoon because guess what? Bernie wants you to have an IRS stimulus check. There are 634 pages of checks additionally in there, including monthly stimulus checks. And now there's $13 billion more for rent. It's a great day, and the afternoon excitement starts right now on Afternoons Lalate. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and we are here with you in Santa Monica, California, where winter is feeling like it's here because it has been cold now for 2 days. In this big update, the president surprises everyone as his Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, releases another $13 billion of money for you for rent assistance. This is incredible, and this is before we get to fourth stimulus. I'll explain more about this in this video. The fourth stimulus check updated 2021 today. Incredible. 634 pages of checks dedicated to you in the first pages of the reconciliation bill released. It's been agreed upon. The bill is out, and the 645 pages are out, and there's literally check after check after check. I'll be going over how to get these checks, what these checks are for you, how you need to get ready to bounce. It's an educational video with all the information you need in this recording. Then we'll be going over phase 2 of checks. There's likely to get reduced to a writing in the next few hours or days. And then the phase 3 of checks. Yes, there's another cluster of checks coming up right after that. Those are getting reduced into the bill as well. Then we'll be cutting back to the exciting developing details as Janet Yellen releases $13 billion of additional funds under third stimulus today for states to pay you more money for rent assistance. I'll go over why the nonprofits, including United Way, was a big success story for one viewer on Morning's Countdown today. And we'll go over what people got in the last 24 hours. It's a lot of money, and it's a great day because this is Ally, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up later today is Evenings LA with the latest breaking news on this channel. Then overnight's crypto as well. And then the excitement that viewers are loving. Hour after hour of programming, now of programming on this channel at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. Boy, you now have over 13 hours of programming approximately on this channel every single day. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers at YouTube record. I want you part of this family. And thank you deeply for the last 2 days being the most watched days of this channel in nearly 2 months. It's because the detail of these videos are getting very incredibly interesting. So subscribe, like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into the details you need to know right off the bat. Let's cut first to the first 634 pages of the reconciliation bill. All checks for you. Then we'll be cutting to phase 2 of checks. We'll be cutting to the phase 3 of checks. I call them phase because they're all going to get into the bill, but they're being released into bill format little bit at a time. And then, of course, we'll get to those IRS stimulus Bernie confirmed checks as well. Let's cut to the first 634. Lots of checks. And one thing I want to say off the back, which I don't think I made clear yesterday, is that these checks are not pandemic related. So you do not have to have suffered anything because of the pandemic to get these checks. These are just checks, which in some cases are lifetime checks or checks to provisions, checks that are derived from changing things lifetime under codes. So you will always get them. You don't have to have suffered anything because of the pandemic. So the exciting details include everything from hazard pay, $4,000 to care for seniors, money for bikes, money for cars, $51,000 of MSCs over 18 years. Let's go over all the incredible details. Let's first start, of course, with that hazard pay. Hazard pay is now going to be a lifetime fixture of the American landscape. It first manifested itself in 2020 on this channel, but got into the third stimulus under a modification of a very old tax code called the Earned Income Tax Credit. What they did under third stimulus was they modified the Earned Income Tax Credit so more people would qualify for this hazard pay. What did they do? They lowered the age, so more younger people would qualify. There was no limit on the high end. That was certainly a discussion on one of the shows earlier today. There's no limit on the age on the high end. So now it goes anywhere from 18 to 99. Next, they increased the income bracket, so more people qualified as well. And finally, the exciting details was they increased the amount of payout to you, the money to you. So that was third stimulus, but it's not a lifetime change to the code. So guess what they're going to do under this first 645 pages of the fourth stimulus recon bill? Make it lifetime. Incredible. So if you are a hazard pay worker, and you still qualify eligible every year, you will get this check each year that you're working in that incredible environment. Wow, just incredible. Then, $4,000 a year for an individual to care for the elderly? Absolutely. They're going to insert a new provision, which I did not have in my radar. It came out of nowhere, where you can get up to $4,000 a year for caring for the elderly. Details of this, of course, are still manifesting themselves, but basically this would be very exciting for a lot of viewers who have potentially eligibility if they're caring for a senior at their home as a care worker. There's also up to $4,000 for individuals who care for children as well. Wow. Then what about rehabbing homes? Yes, there will be new incentives to provide money if you want to rehab or repair a home in a low-income community. That is absolutely incredible. Then the monies continue thereafter. There's money for trucks, cars, and also students. I'm going to get to those in just 1 second. But one of the big shockers, of course, is that nearly $51,000 of MSCs. Monthly stimulus checks, a new terminology being used on this channel. I'm going to insert the word IRS when we refer to IRS stimulus checks. But these are monthly or multiple stimulus checks that would be paid every month for upwards of 18 years. Who is this for? For children. The children will be getting upwards of $300 a month for every month for 18 years under the expansion of a third stimulus provision now being put under fourth stimulus. Under third stimulus, individuals who had children and they're in a low-income family were paid up to $300 a month for that child, $3,600 a year, but not for many years, just for a few years until that expired. Fourth stimulus makes that permanent. So if you're a low-income family and you remain that way for the next 18 years and you have a child, well, guess what? You're getting upwards of $300 a month for that child for 18 years, which is about $51,000 per child. Then let's cut to the other sums of money. Money for buying a bike, buying a car, and buying a commercial car. First, a bike. Personal use, pleasure use, doesn't matter what it's for. They'll provide up to 15% for the purchase of an electric bike under the fourth stimulus package. Incredible. Next, a car for personal use? Absolutely. They'll provide up to $7,500 for an electric vehicle purchased for any purpose. Now, at the moment the provision is written for the major three auto manufacturers, they may modify that. There's talks to modify that include Tesla and also foreign companies as well. Then there's also money to buy a electric vehicle for a business use. Those items are still manifesting, but it will likely be at least $7,500. Then additionally, checks for students. Students will get the Pell's grant now tax-free, and then there will be new grants directly to students and also grants to the colleges that then can pay it to the students. That is 645 pages of the bill. So what does this mean? This is the first 645 pages of a total bill that is not yet finished, could be upwards of 8,000 pages. This is the first 645 pages. Why just 645 pages have been released? Because these are the first 645 pages of checks that they agreed upon, the easy items that they were very quick to agree upon. Who's agreeing upon? Democratic senators and Democratic House members. How do they agree upon it? They do it behind closed doors, not on the Senate floor, not on the House floor, not on TV, not on C-SPAN. They go to their offices, they talk on the phone, they have a cup of coffee, say, hey, what do you think about $4,000 to care for the elderly? I want it higher, I want it lower, I want the eligibility change. Deal, 4,000, write it up. As they go through a series of items and they say, we got enough, go write these up. These are the 645 pages of checks that they said, done, deal, I'm fine, go write it up. And they wrote it up, and that's the first 645 pages of the bill. So what about the next pages of the bill? Where are those? That is what I call on this channel phase 2 or phase 3. Or cluster 2 or cluster 3. I think I like the word cluster better than phase, because phase makes you think it's coming later. It doesn't mean it's coming inherently late or later. It just means there's different clusters. We got to do this group, we got to do this group. They got different things on their table, for example. That's sort of the visual. So cluster 2 has about 12 different checks, including weatherization of your home for standing bad issues like fire or tornadoes or hurricanes. There's that in there, and there's a lot of money in cluster 3, of course, for seniors and workers. So why have they not done cluster 2 and 3? Because what they're doing is they're going through the terms and conditions. Doesn't mean they don't agree to doing weatherization. They're just agreeing upon how much, where, what's the eligibility. In a second, I'm going to go over cluster number 2's checks. There's a lot of them, and they're incredible, including up to $1,700 a week if you have to stay home from work. Absolutely incredible. Then in cluster 3, I'm going to go over the big money in there, which is everything for seniors, SSI, SSDI, just money across the board. Let's make something very clear. That the 645 pages so far released has money for all types of people. The next cluster, and cluster 3, has money for all types of people: single individuals, non-single individuals, hazard pay, not hazard pay, SSI, SSDI, not SSDI. Just money for all different types of people. It's incredible, great news. Now, let's cut back for a second. That's for stimulus. Let's cut back to third stimulus, the law that became official earlier this year. That law has still paid out money to this week and will continue to now pay out money, potentially to the end of this year. What happened earlier this morning? The Department of Treasury, Janet Yellen, announced that more money is being sent out to the counties, states, and cities, effective now, today, to fund more rent utility assistance, OMG. As you know, on this channel, I do a lot of third stimulus coverage. I get you money for rent, utilities, food, internet. Yesterday and the day before, I started bringing back in the nonprofits: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charity Salvation, and St. Vincent de Paul, to show you in the event that your city and county has run out of funds. The great news is that no city and county will now be out of funds effective this week or the next week. It may take a few days for them to get the money. How much is it? It's a lot. It's $13 billion being sent out. The Treasury Department said today that it's sending out the remaining $13 billion. How much money have they sent out? Well, the total package of third stimulus was $47 billion. They initially sent out $25 billion. Then they sent out another $9 billion. So now they're sending out another $13 billion. This is huge. This is a lot. This is nearly 30%, 40% of the whole package. And this is incredible. Treasury is happy to provide these state and local governments these additional resources, said Treasury Secretary Wally Adamo in a statement today. We're committed to keep on reallocating these rental assistance. One of the things I want to tape very clearly to you, because I don't think I made this clear, is that when we talk about rent assistance because of COVID, utility and food assistance because of COVID, that money is because of COVID. But forced stimulus, not about COVID. Forced stimulus is just money. It's not pandemic related. When we talk about the rent assistance, it is. Here is some new success stories to start the day, and we're going to go back to those checks in 10 seconds. Here's some new success stories. D. Miller. Good morning, Lalate. My name is Danielle, and after watching you and following your instructions, I received $18,000 for rent, and I'm now waiting on rental assistance and utility assistance. Thank you so much. And then Dragon, who you see in the live chats all the time. I'm looking at $33,000 right now. Got $18,400 of SNAP, $900 back owed, and then $2,300 of utilities. $12,000 in rent, bringing the grand total to $33,000, and I'm looking for another $5,000 for internet and phone and TV. Incredible details. All right, let's cut back to forced stimulus and get some more checks, shall we? All right, the forced stimulus checks. Here we go. This is cluster 2. These are items. What is a cluster 2? What is cluster 2? Cluster 2 are checks that the Democrats have talked about day in, day out, all this week, all last week, and broadcast media and myself both agree they're getting them in there. They're going to get them in there, and the reason why they were not on the first 645 pages is likely because they're going over how much, what percentage, eligibility, things like that. Here we go. I'm going to go through each of them slowly so you understand them, because there's a lot of them. I say 12, but it's actually a little bit more than 12. First one is expansion of the paid family leave and paid medical leave. What is that? Paid family leave is, for example, your spouse is pregnant and you have to stay home. A wonderful surprise. And you have to stay home from work. Paid medical leave is an unexpected surprise. Your son broke his foot and you have to stay home from work and take care of your son because he can't cook or clean or anything like that. Can't cook or eat food or bathe. How much does it pay? It pays a lot. Under third stimulus, what they did with this initially was proposing $1,700 a week for anyone who makes $75,000 or more. If you make half of that, $30,000, then split it in half. You make $800 for paid leave per week. If you make only $15,000 a year income, then split it again. That would be about $400 a week. That's a lot of money. Who pays it? The federal government funds your employer, and then the employer pays the money to you. Yes, $15,000 a year, up to $400 a week. It's a lot of money. Details of this, of course, are still pending, but that is paid family and medical leave. Then expansion of the child care programs. Then expansion of the household tax credits, including the enhanced child credit. Then expansion of Medicare benefits to include new items not currently covered. They're going to include dental checks, vision checks, and hearing checks, and reducing the Medicare eligibility age. That's also in Cluster 3 coming up in a second. Expansion of the Affordable Care subsidies and then lots of free education. If you have a child and you want to send that child to pre-kindergarten, the federal government will pick up the tab. Totally free nationwide. Then, if you want to go back to college to learn how to understand what I'm saying, he's talking French. I don't understand him. I need to go back to community college because he's just talking a foreign language. They have strange accents in California. Darn you. You have to go back. Community college will now be free to understand my French. They're providing free tuition to go back to community college. And you don't have to get a degree. You can just go back to understand me. There's going to be free money for transportation, green energy, and a few other things that are particularly not applicable to us and a little confusing. Wow. That is the second cluster. Coming up in a second, I'm going to go over the third cluster. But I think it's time to go over what you've been thinking about. I've been thinking about as well. The world exclusive, Bernie and the IRS stimulus check. I referred to it now as the IRS stimulus check because there are multiple stimulus checks in these packages. Cluster 1 has 364 pages of checks, of which you'll qualify for multiple checks. The monthly checks can also refer to the children's checks that are coming monthly for 18 years. So I now use the terminology on this channel, IRS stimulus check, so we understand what we're referring to. Well, I had told you that Bernie Sanders told Brother Joshua, or his staffer had told Brother Joshua over 2 weeks ago, that he will be providing you a monthly IRS check, stimulus check. That's coming up later in this recording. But other viewers have called and gotten confirmation as well. That confirmation again happened late yesterday, and you may have seen it last night on Evenings LA. As viewer Donnie, who's a longtime viewer with this channel, of his wife, called up Bernie Sanders. I called Bernie Sanders, as Secretary said, they are doing a fourth stimulus check. This is a world exclusive. You're only hearing this on this channel because this is the channel that goes to the mat for you and does the type of reporting you deserve. I called Bernie Sanders, as Secretary said they are doing a fourth stimulus check. I said this is what we need. Notice Donnie is advocating. I said this is what we need. I need it. I need it to progress. I need it. I talked about my water and everything I told her. And then she said, yes, they are doing a fourth. More about those details coming up at the commercial break. And then we'll be cutting to the big money you can get for rent and utilities and food and internet. But boy, here is a little bit about the community page. I'll be back in 60 seconds with the big money that you could still get under third stimulus for rent, utilities, and food. And then we'll be cutting to cluster number 3 and more about the IRS stimulus check. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Late Daily for the excitement of the new LA Late live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA Late at 9 a.m. Home LA Late returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA Late at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons at LA as we go into the second half of this recording. And I'll be going over the big sums of money you can still get under third stimulus. Tens of thousands of dollars for rent, utilities, and food, as an additional $13 billion is being sent out to the states for you as well. Then I'll be going over some of the nonprofits that are paying out money. Additionally, we'll be cutting back to fourth stimulus and going over cluster number 3 and going over all those checks, which include checks for seniors and checks for workers. And then we'll be wrapping it up with an explanation of how the Congress gets this all together with the first 645 pages. What does that mean about the remaining pages? I'll explain the voting process and everything you need to know, and it's coming up now. And this is Lalate, so subscribe. 400,000 subscribers is a YouTube record. Once you're part of this family, next stop 1 million. Like the video, every like helps. It helps in the algorithm rankings. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up later today is Evenings LA. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 o'clock shows coming up tonight as well, including the return of Business Lunch, the return of Purple, which goes over this nonprofits like United Way and Salvation Army, and the return of our SSI and SSDI show. Wow, a lot of fun shows coming back in the mix. Let's turn now shortly to this exciting details about third stimulus. What's important to understand is that third stimulus was passed earlier this year for rent, utilities, food, and internet, and it's still paying to this day. And with the $13 billion now being sent out to the states, it's going to be paying for a few weeks, for a few months. I want to make something very clear, which I don't think I made clear in recent days, which is rent, utilities, food, internet. Those are likely not in fourth stimulus. They're going to stay in third stimulus. When they run out, they may not get replenished. We don't know yet. So that's why I want you to get this money right now. And we have to keep it separate by making it clear it's third stimulus. So let's go over the big money you can get. First, you can get rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance, and I'm going to show you different places to get the money. But I want to start with some of the inspiration stories. Yesterday, we met Lorica, we met Stay Lori, Suelan, Patrice, and Jen, who got $38,000 of rent. One of the biggest payout forever for rent we got from this channel. The day before that, we met Mark again, who got $51,000 from this channel for these items, who had then reached out to his brother-in-law and helped his brother-in-law get some money. I want to use the brother-in-law as a benchmark as I show you the items you can get and show you how every week the viewers of this channel are bringing the numbers substantially higher than the week before. Let's go over the monies starting right now. Let's look at the rent. These were the rents a few weeks ago. We had started with Nisi at $20,000, grew all the way up to $27,000 for Purple Hawk Elizabeth. But guess what happened with Jen yesterday? $38,000 for rent. Incredible. Then when we turn to utilities, we had met Johnny over the weekend again, who got $9,000 for rent. We thought that was a lot. Well, guess what? Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 of rent. Look at the numbers. We've gone up 300% in just a few weeks, from $5,000 to now $15,000 for rent. For Snap, we had been $5,000 about a month or 2 months ago. Now for Snap, Mark's brother-in-law got $21,000, which you're going to see in a second is worth $26,000. And then we see people getting multiple sums of money. The sky's the limit on this channel, as Lorraine got $106,000 and Mark got $51,000. All right, so now it's time to get your money. Get a pen, paper, and cell phone ready, because I'm going to show you how to get these sums of money starting right now. I'm going to first give you some introductory remarks. First, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. Reach out to all 6 of 6. Second, understand that if one says no, don't worry. The next one may say yes. Eligibility is different at different places. You do not have to be behind on your rent in all 6 places. They are all different. You do not have to be behind on your rent, and you can be on SSI and SSDI to qualify. Dragon was not behind on rent and is also on benefits and got paid those enormous sums of money for rent, and wanted to show you that as well. Then listen to the keywords I say in this video. Helps get people approved and understand every state has money. And now you see, with another 13 billion coming, every state has that money. And this is a little bit like, I think it's January, where some states had money, ran out, and then you came back a week later and they had it. So if you've reached out to places, keep those phone numbers and reach out to them maybe in a few days from now. It's not going to be there immediately. It may be there later this week or the week after, and say, I heard you're getting money back from the federal government. Can I get on the waiting list or whatever it is? All right, here are the 6 places you reach out to. Your city hall, your city housing authority. Your county hall, your county housing authority. Your state hall, and your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. I remember just off the top of my head just a second ago, Kevin Lee, one of the original viewers of this channel, he heard about a rent assistance program in April of last year. Can you imagine? In Dallas. And it was live for about 4 days and ran out of money immediately. When this 13 billion lands in your city, county, and state, I want you to get it first right off the bat if you are in a place where they didn't have money. All right, now I'm going to show you some other places to reach out to. For utilities, I want you to reach out to all your utility companies. So if you have 5 different utility bills, water, gas, phone, I want you to reach out to all of them. Utility assistance because of COVID. Remember, mortgage assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, and utility assistance because of COVID. Lastly, there are nonprofits, and those nonprofits were detailed on this channel in 2020 and early 2021 in a popular show called Purple. That show now airs on this channel at 11:30 p.m. East Pacific Standard Time every night. You don't have to stay up. You can watch it in rerun. The title of the show is Purple, and the graphic is purple. Well, guess what? One viewer watched that, and this morning on Morning's Countdown said, I went and applied for United Way. And they said I was the only person applied and I'm likely to get approved. I love that. So here are the nonprofits: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. I'll say it again: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. Please also watch Purple because I show you other nonprofits in certain states that are unique to those states. All right. Then for SNAP, I want you to get that money for SNAP. It pays a lot. SNAP is from Department of Agriculture. Pick up the phone and call them. Department of Agriculture pays an enormous amount of money. And now the great news is that starting October, everyone's benefits are going up an average of 25% nationwide automatically if you are on SNAP. SNAP is money for food, get it from Department of Agriculture. And Mark's brother-in-law is going from $21,000 to $26,000. Finally, the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment of unemployment benefits, that's landing by direct deposit. And then the refund check coming from IRS that you pay 2020 taxes on, that's coming back from IRS, anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000, either in the mail or by direct deposit. Finally, will it be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. House members represent, they're going to be giving you a fifth stimulus check. That's the House Ways and Means. That would be for next year. And lastly, what about the incredible details about becoming a Purple Hawk? I want you to become a Purple Hawk because daily I deliver to you a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus, and everything proposed under fourth stimulus. This is a lot of money. And as I said earlier in this video, the items from third stimulus may not repeat themselves under fourth stimulus. They're paying right now. So get them right now before they run out of funds. And as they get replenished with this $13 billion, get the money right now. Consider becoming a Purple Hawk because daily I deliver those sums of money. I don't deliver the money. I deliver a breakdown of the money to you via the YouTube community page and the LA community page, giving you details of all this big money you can get nationwide. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. And this stimulus would normally appear at this time of this recording, but because of running time, I'll see if I can put it at the end. If not, I'll leave it for the next show. Here we go. Ready for cluster number 3? I think you are as well. Fourth stimulus checks, cluster number 3. What is cluster number 3? These are President Biden's items that he has talked about and the Democrats have talked about. So as not the legislator, not a person who writes the bill, but certainly the person who says what I want in there, they're likely to get in there. And these are incredible. Here we go. Free school meals for all, checks. Tax break, checks. Cheaper prescription medication, checks. Checks for farmers. Checks for free internet. Checks for clean energy. Checks for workers, like independent contractors. Checks for Medicare expansion, like lowering the eligibility age for Medicare. Checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care. All right, let's go back over those. Some of these are very easy to get. Some of them are automatic. One of them that's very easy to get, of course, is the check for the internet. What they're going to do is they're proposing to give fortunes to the local cities and counties so that they can run their own internet company. So all you have to do is say, hey, I live here. Can I have the password and username? And then you sign in and you're ready to rock and roll. Another one, the cheaper prescription medication, you don't have to do anything, and you would literally see the benefits in your wallet the next day. What are they envisioning? They're envisioning that the preferred rates the government has negotiated with the pharmaceutical companies would be slashing your prescription medication overnight. Here's an example. You go to the pharmacy on a Monday, pay $30 to fill prescription. This becomes law on Tuesday. You go back to refill the prescription a month later, and instead of paying $30, you're paying $10. And suddenly you save $20 in your wallet. An overnight savings for you across the board. All right, let's cut back and now understand how do they get all these parts together. We first saw the 645 pages. Those are items, again, that the Democrats verbally met and verbally agreed to, and they said, go write it up. We're done. We got these agreed to. That's the first 645 pages. Cluster 2 and Cluster 3, these are items they have said they want to have in there. They said they're going to put in there, and we all believe they will get in there. But the terms, how much, what percentage, how many years, are still being modified, and that's why they haven't written it up yet. Once they write it up, it's all together in a bill that could be upwards of about 8,000 pages. Who writes it? The House members write it, the House subcommittees. I was the first to report this several months ago, and I now was confirmed correct early last Friday when we got confirmation that it is the House writing the language. The Senate and the House members together are negotiating the language, but the House members are actually writing it. Where would the vote start? I have been predicting for a while that the House vote would start on the House side, not the Senate side. This is recon substantive, and that it would start on the House side and then go over to the Senate side. This is huge for many reasons. Senators can add up, or should add to, or beef up whatever the House members do. Senators are not going to remove anything. They're not going to take something out. Here's an example. Money to tend for the elderly, that $4,000 a year. Well, the senators may look at it and say, no, that's not enough. Make it $5,000, or make the eligibility different, or the money for the bike, 15%. No, that's not enough. Make it 18%. Senators may likely raise numbers up. They may also add things in there. They're not going to remove things out. They're not going to take things out. And if they do add things in there, it goes back to the House and they'll prove it in a second. All right, now let's go over the breakdown of where things are as to that IRS stimulus check. When I use the word IRS stimulus check, that's the new nomenclature, the new terminology in this channel to make clear I'm referring to the one that comes from IRS, because there are multiple checks under the fourth stimulus that you qualify for, now confirmed in the first 645 pages, and there are monthly checks for some people in there as well. So I use the term IRS check. The great, incredible, world exclusive, of course, came last night. This is not the first time this channel has been reporting this world exclusive. I've been doing it for now 3 weeks. You're not going to see it anywhere else except this channel. Bernie Sanders' staff said, yes, there will be a fourth stimulus check. Individual Donnie, who's a longtime viewer of this channel, picked up the phone and advocated for a stimulus check, called up Bernie Sanders' staff and said, you know what? We need it. I need it. My family needs it. My community needs it. I need it to progress and put my water and everything. I told her. She said, okay, we're doing a fourth. I called Bernie Sanders and the secretary said they are doing a fourth stimulus check. Incredible details. Now let's go back to what happened about 3 weeks ago with Brother Joshua. In that conversation, the same staffers told Brother Joshua, a longtime viewer of this channel, there will be a fourth stimulus check and it will be monthly. Let's go over what's important for you to understand. Advocacy is the core of this channel. Advocacy meaning I need it. This is why I need it. People need to know your story. They need to humanize the situation. They need to know, why do you need a stimulus check? And I said about 5 weeks ago, pick up the phone and call your Senate Democrats, say, hi, my name is, and I need to tell you why I need it. I need to tell you why my community, my family, my neighborhood needs it. And WR, a longtime viewer of this channel, was in Morning's Countdown this morning, and he saw someone saying, I'm praying for a stimulus check. And he said, that's good to pray, but also pick up the phone. I picked up the phone, and unless you pick up the phone, they don't know you need it. It's absolutely imperatively important. And he did that. He was one of the very first viewers who listened to what I said, picked up the phone and called. This is almost 8 weeks ago. Called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, and advocated for a stimulus check. Not a question mark, an advocacy. I need because. Told his story. Everyone has a unique story why you need it. And the staffer said, yes, Senator Chris Coons is giving you a monthly stimulus check and is proposing it under the fourth stimulus recon. He's a senator. More about the issue of senator versus House member in a second. World exclusive. There you go. Senator Chris Coons saying he's putting it in there. Then we had 3 weeks ago where Bernie Sanders, who's chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and this recon is the budget bill. He's the chairman of the Budget Committee on the Senate side, whereas the House Budget Committee is releasing these 645 pages. Bernie said, prior budget chairmen sort of did their thing in D.C. I like to get out amongst the people. What does that mean? He wants to hear from you. He doesn't know your story unless he hears from you. He wants you to be advocating to him what you need. And I said, pick up the phone. And Brother Joshua, longtime viewer of this channel, who was also on Early Mornings Lalate in the live chat, 2020 community volunteers of this channel, and also Purple Hawk, picked up the phone. After helping so many people, Brother Joshua picked up the phone and advocated as well, and spoke to Bernie Sanders' staff 2 weeks ago said this is what we need. We need a monthly stimulus check. And the staffer said yes. Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing a monthly stimulus check, $1,000 to $1,400 a month, 3 to 6 months, and he needs your support. We got this, Purple Power. Pick up the phone and call your Democratic senators. Call as many as you can. Advocate. Don't ask. No question marks. No when, where, how, why, is. No. You call up and you say, I need it. I want to introduce myself. I want to tell you why I need it. Because this is what's happened to my neighborhood, my community, my church, my family, my town, my business. I want to tell you why I need it. Advocate professionally, respectfully, and kindly. People like to hear your human story. They resonate. They resonate when they hear your human story. Be compassionate and be insightful. And as one viewer said on Twitter yesterday, I love this comment. She said, "I'm very, very, very shy. I'm not good at doing this, but I got the emotional support in my stomach to pick up the phone, and I called, and I got the voicemail, but I still left a message. And after I did, I felt so good about it. I love that. That is the true spirit of the Purple Power. What you need to know right now is that FIST stimulus is also being worked on. FIST stimulus comes in September, out for a vote potentially in November. First, they raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits. Then they apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Inflation is going up. It's going to be transitory. It's going to go up to a very high rate in December, potentially 5%. So first, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. And the benchmark is 5%. You'll go up another 5%, not just next year, but lifetime. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And there you go. I got this stimulus in there on time as well. Recap. Third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus. Third stimulus, rent, utilities, food, internet. That's paying right now. And with another $13 billion going out to your cities, counties, and states ASAP, those places where you may have reached out and they said we ran out of money, it's getting replenished. I've done that enough on this channel. I've had New York, for example, that had money, didn't have money, had money, didn't have money. LA, of course, many, many times over. Lots of places run out of money, get another infusion. Be very kind on the phone when you speak to them, saying, I heard you're getting that money coming back. When are you getting that money in? I haven't heard. When can I call back to check when you get that money? I want to be ready. They're going to have the money. They're all going to have the money, either at the county or the state. Then reach out to the nonprofits. Watch Purple tonight at 11:30 or watch it from last night's show, currently archived on the channel, so you learn about United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. You can always replay this video if you want to hear one part of the section again. Then get the utilities and the food additionally. Fourth stimulus. These items will not repeat themselves in the fourth stimulus from third stimulus. Fourth stimulus is not pandemic items. They're just items, and that's one of the things I want to make very clear today. These items, you don't have to have suffered something because of the pandemic to qualify for. You just qualify for them because of where you live, how you live, or what your household income is. And then finally, the incredible push for those IRS checks in there as well. And lastly, FIST stimulus. A lot of details and a lot of stuff. Coming up next is overnights crypto, and then evenings LA, and then we have a new set of programming, bringing back Business Lunch, which showed you the business grants, bringing back the SSI and SSDI show, bringing back the Purple show that shows you the big money for rent. People are loving it. You're going to see a show at 6 o'clock, a show at 7 o'clock, one at 8, one at 9, one at 10, and one at 11:30, which is Purple. And then I'm back tomorrow morning at 3, 3:30, 4 a.m., 7 a.m., and then, of course, mornings LA at 9 a.m. And thank you again for the last 2 days for being the biggest 2 days of this channel in nearly 3 months. I feel the excitement. I think you feel as well. And let's keep it going. Thank you for the Purple Patrol in this video as well. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video too, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay on this video and it will automatically take you to the next video starting in 6 seconds after this video is over. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to become a Purple Hawk member to get access to all that incredible money and sign up for those LA alerts so you do not miss an alert when something happens. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.